This video demonstrates creation of an approval system using Smap. I'm going to demonstrate using 3 different browsers, Chrome, Firefox and Safari, to represent 3 different users. Chrome is the administrator setting up the system. Firefox will be Tom, who's doing a request, and Safari will be Ruth, who's going to be approving the request. So we've just gone in using Chrome, and I'm setting up the first of the surveys, which is a request survey. So I'm going to add a number of questions relevant to that request. A question on what they want, a decimal question on how much it will cost, a text question for their email address so they can be notified via email if the application is successful. Finally, we're going to put a dummy value for the approved status, so initially set to no. So that was the request form. Now going to create the approval form. This will be based on the request form so that you can reuse the same table and extend the data collected in the initial request. We don't need all these questions in the approval form, so we'll delete them. Now allow to select one to actually approve the request. Also a text question for any comments the approver might have. I'm going to specify that this is an oversight survey, so it's not to be used for collecting data. This way it won't appear on people's phones. And we'll do the same for the request form. In this case, we'll say it's a data survey, and so it won't appear as an option to use for as part of the oversight approval. Now we're going to add a role so that people who will need that role in order to do approvals. So it's a security measure. I'm going to give that role to Ruth, as she's the approver. Tom, who's the requester, doesn't have that role. So he cannot approve his own requests. But he does have view data, so he can view submissions that he's made, not other people's submissions. Now I'm just going to add that role to the approval form. Okay, so we've created the surveys. We're going to add a notification now. There are tasks and then select the notifications menu and add a new notification. This notification will be sent whenever approval is given to a request. So it's an update notification. Survey is request, the oversight survey is approved, the update question is approved, and the value of that is yes. If all those conditions are met, then the email should be sent. We need to get the email out of the request survey, so we select the email question in that survey. And then we just enter a subject and some content for our email. We can use the $ curly bracket syntax to reference data from within the surveys. So here we're going to refer to the thing that's been requested, the quoted price, and also the comments that were made by the approver. So that's completed our approval system. Let's just test it out now. So I'm going to switch to Firefox, being used by Tom. Tom logs in, opens the request form, and requests a phone. Submits the request. Now I'm going to switch to the console to see his request on the console. There it is. Now let's go to Ruth's. She's logging in. Takes her to the console. Sees that there's been a request. Selects it. Locks it for editing. And then edits. Now we have to go back because Ruth didn't add the oversight survey to the console. So she adds that now. Goes back and edits the survey again. And you can see here's the 2 questions from the oversight survey that she can change. She's changing the value of approved to yes and adding a comment. Save. Now let's check emails. Now here's our email, and you can see that the content has been filled in with data from the surveys. Now let's go back to Tom. Tom presses refresh on the console, and he should see that his request has been approved.